What's up? Welcome back to JC Kids Online and week 3 of our series called Strap Up. We are learning about the full armor of God and what that means to us. We've already learned that we have an enemy, that he wants to destroy our lives, and that God has given us the tools to beat him. And that's called the armor of God. Last week we learned that we have to start with truth, that truth holds everything together. And this week we're learning about our second piece in the armor of God. It's what protects our heart. Let's check out today's super main point. Today's super main point is doing the right thing protects you. I want you to say that with me. Are you ready? Okay. Doing the right thing protects you. Sometimes we think that doing the right thing maybe protects others, and it does. Or maybe it keeps from others being hurt. But that's not the only thing that doing the right thing does. Doing the right thing protects us, protects our heart. We have a Bible verse about that, and it comes from the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Guard your heart above all, for it is the source of life." Now, the Bible tells us that our heart is so important, that we should guard it, we should protect it, that everything we do, we should guard our heart. And today, we're talking about the breastplate of righteousness, the armor of godliness. So when we put on the armor of God, we start with the belt of truth, but then we add this piece, the piece that protects our heart. We have a story today about a character in the Bible that you may have heard of, but this is a story that maybe you haven't heard. This story comes from the book of Judges, and it's about a man named Gideon. Now, Gideon was part of the Israelites, God's family or his chosen people. But at that time, the Israelites were scared. They were hiding because their land had been taken over by a people called the Midianites. The Midianites were not part of God's family. They didn't love God. They didn't worship the one true God. And because of that, they were very wicked people. But Gideon, he was scared. He was hiding in a cave, just like many of the Israelites were. One night, the angel of the Lord came to Gideon, and he told him to do something scary. He told Gideon that God wanted him to go and tear down the altars built to the false gods. And in their place, Gideon was to construct an altar to worship the one true God. Now, this was scary. Gideon knew that if he was caught doing this, he could be killed. But Gideon trusted God. The angel told Gideon that he was mighty, and that he was powerful, and that God would give him the strength that he would need to complete this task. And Gideon, he trusted God. And he went out at night and tore down the altars to the gods of the Midianites and built an altar to the one true God. Now, this was scary, and it was dangerous. But Gideon knew that doing the right thing would protect him. And Gideon, he was safe. And God was right. God used him to do a wonderful and amazing, powerful thing. And it's because Gideon knew that doing the right thing would protect him. Today, we're talking about the armor of godliness, and it comes from Ephesians chapter 6. Check out Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14. It says, "Stand, therefore, having fastened the belt of truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness." When we do right, it keeps us safe. Just like the chest padding on these shoulder pads. When a football player puts them on, it keeps their heart safe. It protects their chest when they're in the middle of a game, when they're hitting other people or being run into by other people, being tackled. It keeps them safe. It protects them. And that's what it's like when we do right. When we do the right things in our life, it protects us. Well, our hearts can be choosing to do right and to honor God, or they can be choosing to not. They can be choosing to do right things, or they cannot. But when we choose to do right things, that's when we're protected. That's when we're safe. When we choose to put on the breastplate of righteousness, the armor of godliness, and to protect our hearts. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here at JC Kids Online. Before you go, I want you to make sure to check out the links in our description. First, we have a link to our family discussion sheet. Just a list of activities and questions you can do together as a family to help you better discuss the armor of godliness. Then, if you'll check out the link to our series song, it's called The Full Armor of God. It's awesome. I'd encourage you to sing it, dance to it, and have fun together as a family. The last link is a link to our JC Kids Facebook page. If you or your parents haven't already liked that page, like that page. On it, we post updates about our kids ministry, fun activities for you to do together as a family, and lots of other cool stuff. You won't want to miss out on that. Well, thanks for hanging out with us once again. We want you to know that we love you, we're proud of you, and we hope to see you soon.